Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and today we are going to be reviewing all three Dark Knight films in the trilogy. I was going to individually review every single Batman film leading up to the release of The Batman, well, at least until I see it. It's coming out actually today, so I'm not going to see it for a week, but I was going to individually review them, but I'm lazy and I didn't have enough time, so I decided to just group all three Dark Knight films together in this video, and then tomorrow I'm supposed to come out with a video where I do the spin-offs, Batman 66, Lego Batman movie, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and then I'm going to be reviewing the Tim Burton Batman movies sometime before I see the Batman next week, hopefully. So, starting us right off here, we have the Dark Knight trilogy. I decided to start off with these because this is my Batman. This is the Batman that I grew up with, that I really enjoy. And he is my favorite Batman right now. I don't know. We'll see with Matt Reeves, but just having Christian Bale as Batman, and then Christopher Nolan, what he did with these movies. This is Max Reviews. I'm Braden. This is just such a great trilogy right here. So you start right off, Batman Begins, to start talking about that. Batman Begins, for me, was my introduction to Batman. And I watched it, and when I first saw it, I think I gave it like, I don't know, maybe 7 out of 10, and then I thought about it more, and I brought it up to an 8, then I thought about it more, and I brought it up to a 9, and now, after rewatching it again, I bring it up to that 10. It just gets better the more I think about it, and the more I just digest it, think about it, and consume it, just thinking about it. It gets better and better the more I think about it, like it, and it's just... When I first saw it, I only gave it a 7. And now, look at it, it's like currently one of the best Batman movies for me. And so, the trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, I checked it out last year, and I absolutely loved it. Like, just found Batman Begins somewhere at some thrift store or something, bought it, checked it out, I'm like, oh, this is good. And then I got the next one, I'm just blown away, and then I had to buy the third one. So... Batman Begins, to start off, I think it's greatly described by the title, Batman Begins. I've been checking out all the other Batman movies, and this is like the main origin story for Batman. Because Batman, this is how he went from Bruce Wayne to Batman. This is his growth. This is how he turns into the Batman. And I think it did such a great job of just giving us the hero origin story. One of my favorite origin stories is probably Spider-Man, 2002. But in this movie, Batman Begins, another great origin story for showing how he started off as just this rich guy, and then he went to the Dark Guys Society or something. Sorry if I got that wrong, but and then he becomes Batman after leaving them and saving the actual Ra's al Ghul. And after he starts becoming Batman, you see him trying to take down bad guys and stuff, and failing along the way while also getting them sometimes. And it's just really fun to watch while also being a hardened Batman that is beating up guys. He's trying not to kill everybody. And the look, the feel, the vibe, just everything's so great in this movie. Scarecrow. Originally, when I saw Scarecrow, I didn't like him that much. He was one of the problems of the movie. But he's grown on me. I like him now. I like him a lot more. And now, Ra's al Ghul, great character twist. I didn't see that coming. And you got a great actor right there with Liam Neeson. And I think all the casting here across the board is great. Morgan Freeman, really memorable. The guy that plays James Gordon, that plays Commissioner Gordon, does a great job. Guy for Scarecrow is amazing at the role. Christian Bale's amazing. Michael Caine as Alfred is so great. I love having Morgan Freeman in here too. Just everybody here is so perfectly cast. The only one that I sort of forget about usually would be Rachel, whoever plays her. I always think of the person from the Dark Knight instead of the one from Batman Begins. But still, really good casting here all across the board. I absolutely loved everything here with all the casting and all that. So great. And all these characters, all these stuff that's going on. The action is great. The character dynamics are great. And it's so great. Such a great movie that it just gets better and better the more I talk about it. The plot twist, the villains, the setup payoff, Batman, just seeing Batman going out here punching guys down. Like his first scene where he's just taking out guys and they're running away. You got the mob bosses going around in Gotham, pointing guns at. And Gotham as a city just feels lived in and like it has depth in it. And then you have the Joker thing at the end, which I was not expecting. And then you have just Batman riding off. Really good movie. It gets better the more I think about it, as I've said repeatedly in this video. So just really great start to this. This is my origin story for Batman. This is my favorite Batman. And I absolutely love this movie. Even now talking about it, I just want to go back and rewatch it now. And so really great start to this trilogy, and it got me excited that I'm like, I gotta check out The Dark Knight now. But now we get to The Dark Knight, which immediately after watching it for my first time last year, I'm like, this is my favorite movie of all time. I heard so many people say, oh, The Dark Knight's the best. Dark Knight's the best. It's one of the best movies of all time. And for me, it is. Everything in The Dark Knight seems to be built for me. The casting of everybody is memorable, and it's so great. You have your villains who are Joker and Two-Face. I would say one of the best villain castings, top 3 villain castings in a movie with having Joker and Two-Face. You have Batman, who is a bit sidelined because Joker is big, but he is still going through stuff. And just every single line of dialogue, every action sequence, every just thing is so amazing. And just the way it ends, you get the adrenaline above it. And it's just, he is our Dark Knight. And just ending like that, and just, yes, every single time. And this is the one out of this trilogy that I watched last, because I watched them all. I watched this trilogy of movies, and then I've rewatched The Dark Knight like twice. I watched it once back last year, then I rewatched it with my dad for this video, and then I rewatched it just like 2 weeks ago with one of my best friends to show him it and tell him, like, this is my favorite movie of all time, and it is amazing. Every single time that I watch it, I've seen it 4 times, I think, maybe now, but still, I love it so much. It's so great. Of course, in this movie, people have said it bajillions of times, but Heath Ledger as the Joker, one of the greatest things ever in the movie, just works so well right there. You have Commissioner Gordon being there, and I just feel like he's got more going on. There's more tension with him, with his kids. You have Two-Face in this movie, who is so good. Best Two-Face I've ever seen. Where just you have this guy, perfect guy that gets taken down. You have the person playing Rachel is done better, even though she gets killed. You have Alfred in the movie, who is so great. Even Fox / Morgan Freeman does great. And even though Batman is a bit sidelined in his movie, he still has these amazing arcs going on with Christian Bale. Could just pull this acting off. I love the acting, the look, the vibe, everything in this movie, the stakes, where it brings the stakes up, but Joker is not destroying a planet. He is just destroying the city. And Joker in this movie is probably one of the best, definitely top 2 villains of all time for me, along with Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. And I just absolutely love him in this movie. Such a great character, and just, wow. This is that movie that just 100 out of 10, my favorite movie of all time, where I don't think there's much more to say, because everybody's talked about this movie so much. And why I haven't really done a Dark Knight trilogy ranking yet, even though it's a really amazing trilogy, is I would have the same ranking as everybody. Dark Knight in first, Batman Begins in second, Dark Knight in third. No, Dark Knight Rises in third. So, absolutely love The Dark Knight. My favorite movie of all time. And just, there's nothing else to say. This is my favorite movie of all time. Absolutely love it. So great. And with that said, we get to The Dark Knight Rises, where they have the movie that everybody says is the worst. So I watched The Dark Knight, and I was like, okay, I cannot wait to see what's next. And then I watched The Dark Knight Rises, and I'm like, okay, this is sort of what I expected from it. I think this movie is still good. It's just like when I rewatch the Dark Knight movies, I usually skip The Dark Knight Rises just because. And so I'm going to try to figure out what I think's the matter with this movie. I think the problem is there's just so much going on and so much stakes that it sort of crumbles under everything that it's trying to do. Because first off, you have a 5-year skip from The Dark Knight to The Dark Knight Rises. So that is sort of disappointing because you're still into like how Batman would deal after being chased by the police and stuff, and he's retiring as Batman just to get back as Batman to retire as Batman. That's the movie. And you also have the guy that's trying to be Robin, which that doesn't really work either, I don't think, too much in the movie. The guy that's trying to be Robin, you don't feel any big payoff with that. You have Catwoman, which I think Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, I think she's an okay version of Catwoman. Not the worst, but she's an okay version of Catwoman is what I would say. She's definitely burglar. I can understand how the movie ends with her and Batman ending. I gotta say, Bane in this movie is absolutely amazing. Every word that he says is a quote. Tom Hardy was so great as Bane. But then you get to Talia al Ghul, who, that was sort of like a twist that didn't work. But still, there's some moments in this movie that are just so awesome. Seeing Batman get out of the cave with Bane and just seeing him take over everybody, and actually it seems like he dies at the end. I still think this is a good movie. I don't rewatch it as much as, say, other movies in the Dark Knight trilogy or Batman movies. This is one that I'm not as prone to watch, but I think it's still like a 9.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, but compared to the Dark Knight and Batman Begins, it's not as good. It's like, those were both on the top tier level, and this just dropped a little bit to like the very, very good tier, but it's still, you watch the trilogy and you just end on a low point, which is sort of sad. But I do like how it ends with just Alfred seeing them and he leaves, and it's just so emotional and perfect. And I still really enjoy this movie so much. Bane is great. I don't like the twist villain thing that they had going. That didn't work too well for me. But still, how this movie ends, how they have like the stuff going on with Bane is awesome. Batman, the high moments can be, I'd say about as high as in Batman Begins. Nowhere near as high as in The Dark Knight, but what a movie, what a trilogy. I absolutely love this trilogy. I'd give it like a 9 point, you know what? I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10 trilogy. It's one of the best trilogies of all time. I'd say top 20, definitely. I don't know if it would make top 10 for me, but an amazing trilogy when you have Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Two amazing movies, and The Dark Knight Rises, which does have a bit of a sour taste in your mouth at the end. Not as good as Dark Knight and Batman Begins, but still a really good movie. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be coming out with a video tomorrow, hopefully, on the Batman spin-offs, the Lego Batman movie, and Batman 66, and Batman the Mask of the Phantasm. The Batman movies that have been theatrically released, that I'm going to be ranking also with my Batman stuff, so going to be doing some reviews for them, and then the Tim Burton Batman movies, which I have seen none of, so we're going to be doing some reviews on those. Leave your comments down below of what you think of this trilogy. I absolutely love it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Look out for those reviews of the other Batman movies and my review for the Batman probably coming in a week. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Brayden. This is Max Reviews. Brayden out.